and welcome to Hackberry Park, home of the Warriors. A special welcome to our guests from Bennington High School. Tonight's contest is sponsored by Hardy Acres. A special thank you to Dan and Linda Hardy for their support of the Wahoo Athletic Booster Club, Wahoo Athletic programs, coaches, and student athletes. The Trailblazer Conference and Nebraska Schools Activities Association promote good sportsmanship by students, athletes, coaches, and spectators. We request your cooperation by supporting the participants and umpires in a positive manner. Profanity, ethnic, sexist, or other intimidating comments or actions directed at umpires, students, athletes, coaches, or team representatives will not be tolerated and are grounds for removal from the facility. Wahoo Softball and the Wahoo Athletic Department would also like to thank our parents for helping prep the field between games throughout the season. Your work is very much appreciated. And now for your starting lineups. First, for the Bennington Badgers. Leading off and playing center field, number 15, Hannah Wegman. Batting second, your pitcher, number 13, Skylar Johnson. Batting third and catching, number 8, Kaylin Mueller. Batting fourth and playing third base, number 16, Bella Worth. Batting fifth, your right fielder, number 1, Brooklyn Fitch. Batting sixth, your shortstop, number 3, Taylor Redmond. Batting seventh and playing first base, number 21, Sophia Reimer. Batting eighth and playing second base, number 17, Abby Reichley. And batting ninth, playing left field, number 2, Adrienne Treble. Bennington is coached by Landon Blanchard. And now for your starting lineups for your Wahoo Warriors. Leading off, playing left field, number 3, Briar Hancock. Batting second, your center fielder, number 15, Karin Eady. At third base, number 8, Avery Hansen. At catcher, number 23, Addie Gregg. Your DP tonight, number 16, Addie Smart. Your pitcher, number 1, Emma Meyer. Second baseman tonight, number 2, Michaela Kenning. Shortstop, number 6, Olivia Wesley. That's not right. Your right fielder, number 4, Addie Kenning. The flex tonight for Wahoo is number 22, Blake Hitz. Wahoo is coached by head coach Trina Kristen, assistant coaches Ashley Ott and Liz Gray. Fans, please rise and remove your caps as we stand and honor our flag and country with the singing of tonight's national anthem by Wahoo High School sophomore Allie Clemon. And Emma Jones.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
All right, there we go. Ready. Yeah, with the famous words after that is play ball. I want to say thank you to all the sponsors who are part of our broadcast and the Athletic Booster Club. Let's start off with tonight's game is sponsored by Hardy Acres, the Hardy family being a great part of our Booster Club. We also want to say thank you to JEO Consulting, Wahoo State Bank, First Bank of Nebraska, Saunders Medical Center, Wahoops, Union Bank and Trust, Woodsmith Builders, Simon's Home Store, and Retire Path Advisors, Estudillo and Verbrell family, Titles and Scooters, Wahoo Dental Associates, Saunders County Chiropractic, Rivalry, Berkshire Hathaway Home Source, Ambassador Real Estate, Tammy Bennett, Sid Dillon of Wahoo, Wahoo Concrete, Edward Jones, Josh Kruger, Shutt Electrical and Contracting, and Tim and Seth Molly Construction. So again, it's going to be a tough game for the Warriors tonight. Bennington is really in a kind of an interesting situation school-wise, where if they don't add another school over there, really this is a Class A type of program. So that puts the Warriors, which really class size overall is about 4 times smaller. It's kind of an amazing thing. But battle nonetheless. We will have a great game before you, and the sun is popping out behind the clouds to the west, and we will have beautiful temperatures for today. So again, we are ready. Warm-ups have completed. The national anthem is sung, and we are getting ready. So starting off for the Badgers, we have Hannah Wagman, the center fielder, stepping into the batting box. Now pitching for the Warriors, Emma Meyer. She'll be pitching to Addie Gregg. Addie Gregg has been catching pretty much most of the games as we switch things around. So, and the home plate umpire gives the signal. We are ready to start. And here comes the very first pitch on its way. Comes in. That one is low for ball 1. As we get everything reset there, waiting for the next pitch. Got the scoreboard all set up again. So next pitch stays high. 2-0 is the count starting off. Good crowd here tonight for the second game. The JV played a little bit ago. Swing on that one. So strike 1. The JV, Bennington, was able to come in and really towards the 6th and 7th inning be able to roll some things in, be able to finish, I believe, 6-1 was where they ended on that one. So that is strike 2. The count goes even at 2. Thank you, everybody, for being a part of our broadcast. Now we have third strike, and starting off with a strikeout. So that's out number 1. Great start for our pitcher, Emma Meyer. Stepping into the batting box is the pitcher for the Badgers, Skylar Johnson. That first pitch comes in, strike 1. Wind up, so stepping back in.
Is somebody else?
Not on ours, but. Wind up, and next pitch coming in, swing, and that gets popped back and foul. So that is strike number 2. So 0-2 is the count with 1 out. Meyer with the next pitch coming in, looking for that third strike, goes slightly high. That's ball 1. Wind up and the pitch coming in. That's high and outside. Count goes even at 2. 1 out. We're at the top of the first inning, just starting off this game. Wind up pitch comes in, swing and a miss, and strikeout number 2. So it's a great way to start for the Warriors. Emma Meyer getting a nice look at the batting box. Now we have the catcher stepping in for the Badgers is Kaylin Mueller. Kaylin Mueller is a senior for Bennington. Wind up and the pitch is on its way, and that one stayed high. So ball 1. 1-0. Is it 1-1? Okay, it's 1-1. Next pitch comes in. Swing and pops that one straight up, not having to go anywhere. Addie Gregg was able to reel it in for the pop out. And so 1, 2, 3, the Badgers are down. So coming back after we say thank you to our sponsors, it is the Warriors bats. So let's go ahead and we'll just let you see the sponsors in the upper left-hand corner. Again, we want to say thank you to all of them. JEO, Wahoo State Bank, First Bank of Nebraska, Saunders Medical Center, Wahoops, Union Bank and Trust, Woodsmith Builders, Simon's Home Store, Retire Path Advisors, Estudillo and Vibral Families, Titles and Scooters, Wahoo Dental Associates, Saunders County Chiropractic, Rivalry, Berkshire Hathaway Home Source, Ambassador Real Estate, Tammy Bennett, Sid Dillon of Wahoo, Hardy Acres, tonight's game sponsor, Wahoo Concrete, Edward Jones, Josh Kruger, Shutt Electrical and Contracting, and Tim and Seth Molly Construction. Well, the Warrior bats kind of battled to warm up quite a bit yesterday as they were home. Hopefully, the warm-up has continued on, and towards the end of the game, they were able to win yesterday. So we'll see if they can continue on where they finished off. And so, again, leading off for the Warriors, Briar Hancock, then Karen Eady, Avery Hansen, Karen Eady, Avery Hansen, then Addie Gregg. So let's see where we end up. So warm-up's complete. Briar Hancock, left fielder, also a left-hander, so slapping position. So we're going to see that type of mode come in. Skylar Johnson pitching. The first pitch goes on the outside, but it's called strike as she swings through. So just staying put on that swing, not doing the slap. Wind up next pitch, and that one's low. So 1-1 is the count. Wind up, and the next pitch coming in. Swing, and that gets fouled on the third base side for strike number 2. 1-2 is the count. Hancock waiting for the next pitch, and that just gets popped short, and coming in underneath it, second base player Abby Richley stepping in for the out. So that brings in Karen Eady, the center fielder. Wind up, that pitch comes in, swing and a miss, strike 1. As they always say, though, you can't hit unless you swing. So next pitch coming in, swing, and that gets popped down the first base side, just out of reach of Sophie Rickmeyer. Chased after it, but it just dropped outside of her glove. So that is 0-2. Wind up, pitch coming in, swing, and that gets fouled back, keeping the count 0-2. One out, bottom of the first inning, and scoreless so far. Wind up pitch, and that one lingers high. That is ball one. 1-2 is the count with one out. Nobody on base. Karen Edie, second up to bat for the Warriors. She takes a pitch and fouls that straight back. Keeps the count 1-2.
That one was somebody windshield.
I've always said that anybody who wants to park really close to the ballpark on either side or right behind home plate, well, they need to have good insurance. Next pitch comes in, and that comes up, and she backed off. It hit the bottom of the bat and went foul. So the count again continues to be 1-2. If she were able to get out of the way, that would have been a ball. Wind up next pitch, down low. Count goes even at 2. Long at bat for Edie. Swing and a miss. Oh, no, fouled it back. So hard to see from our vantage here. Sometimes there's a pole right in our way. So again, the count is staying even at 2. Edie staying alive. That one is low and inside. So the count goes full. We have a payoff pitch coming our way. So it's a battle between Skylar Johnson and Karen Edie. Who's going to blink first? Wind up, the pitch comes in. Swing, and that gets popped out into right center field for a base hit. So one out, runner on first, and Avery Hansen stepping up to bat, the third baseman for the Warriors. Skylar with the pitch coming in. That one is called a strike. 0-1, one out, runner on first. Johnson getting set. Wind up the pitch. Swing, and that gets sent out to center field. Getting underneath it was Adrian Treble, able to reel it in for the out, and was able to keep Karen Edie at base. 1. Now the catcher, Addie Gregg, stepping up to bat with 2 outs, runner on first. Wind up the pitch, and that is inside, almost hits her as she has to duck out of the way. So that is a 1-0. She had to bend quite a ways back to get out of that one. Next pitch coming in, that goes outside, ball 2. 2-0 with 2 outs, runner on first. We're at the bottom of the first inning right here at Hackberry Park. Again, thank you to all of the sponsors. We'll talk about them here in a little bit. Wind up, the pitch comes in, swing and a miss, strike 1, and the throw goes out to first, but not in time. Karen was able to get back on base. Slid back to save herself there. 2-1 is the count with 2 outs. Next pitch comes in, and that one well high and outside. 3-1. So we have a 3-1 count. Wind up that pitch, and that's on the outside. Goes for the free base. So, now we have runners on first and second with 2 outs. And the designated player, Addie Smart, stepping up to bat. Conversation inside the circle, encouraging Johnson, and you say, from all the other players.
Kinsley Beaver was a sub for Addison Smart.
Okay, so who's the sub for?
Kinsley Beaver, number 25.
Okay, Kinsley Beaver subs in for Greg.
Yep, Addison Greg.
That first pitch comes in.
Ball.
So that's a ball. 1-0 is the count with 2 outs. Runners on first and second. Next pitch goes high. And the catcher asks for timeout. So at this point in time, Kaylin Mueller goes out to Skylar Johnson to be able to have a conversation, tries to get on the same page regarding the pitch calls, and encouraging. But then she's coming back here. So we have a 2-0 count for Addie Smart. Johnson back in the circle, sets. Pitch comes in, stays high. 3-0. One more ball will load the bases. And the Warriors working on a 2-out series. Next pitch on the inside edge, and that one is called strike one. 3-1. Johnson has quite a bit of work to get out of this one. The Warriors looking to be able to continue on to bat. That one goes high, and that loads the bases right there. So 2 walks. As we have Emma Meyer stepping into the batting box. Now, the coach for Bennington steps out, having a conversation. Landon Blatchard stepping out to have a conversation with the infield. Not changing pitching at all, just a re-encouragement for Skylar Johnson. So runners on all bases. Emma Meyer, the pitcher, stepping in to bat. First pitch comes inside, and that one is called a strike. 0-1. There's 2 outs. It's the pitcher versus a pitcher battle right now. Next pitch on the way, and that's high and outside. And sliding in was Karin Eady for the first run and advancing everybody else. So now we have Emma Meyer has a 1-1 count. 2 outs. 1 run has come in for the Warriors. We're at the bottom of the first inning. Next pitch on the way, and that's inside. And that goes over to third base, and the throw over to first is high. 1 run comes in, 2 run comes in, and that puts Emma Meyer at second base on the error. So that brings us 3-0 as the Warriors continue to lead, and we have a designated player, a courtesy runner for Meyer, and that is Ellie Snyder is going out to run at second base. Stepping up to bat is Michaela Kenning, the second baseman, as Warriors work on a 2-out run. First pitch goes high for ball one. 1-0, 2 outs. Runner on second. 3 runs have come in so far for the Warriors while there have been 2 outs. Next pitch on the way, and that one swung on and missed. Strike. 1-1. Swing and a miss again. 1-2 with 2 outs. Kenning looking to try to keep the roll going and waits on that one and goes a bit high. So count goes even at 2 with 2 outs, runner on second. See a trend of 2s before us. Next pitch. That one stays high. Count goes full. So coming from behind, Kenning was able to wait, and now we have a payoff pitch. Who's going to pay off for? That comes in and stays high, and that is a walk. So now, runners on first and second, and they continue the batting. Olivia Wesley, a shortstop, stepping in. Wind up, the pitch comes in, and that one gets in there for a strike one. Actually, numbers, let's see. Wind up, the pitch comes in, that one stays high. One and one with 2 outs. Runners on first and second. 3 runs have scored at the bottom of the first inning for the Warriors. That pitch goes high. Now it's a 2-1 count. Johnson just battling to try to get through this inning, I think, just to kind of get focused back in. Some encouragement coming forward. Looked like that was Abby Richley stepping forward to give Johnson a little bit of encouragement. Pitch comes in, swing, and that gets sent out to left field, past the left fielder. 1 run comes in, wrapping around the corner. 2 runs come in, and Wesley stopping at second base. Big inning for the Warriors. And at this point, we have all of the infielders gathering again around Johnson. The right fielder, Addie Kenning, is next to bat, and that will complete the batting lineup. So they'll be able to run all the way around the batting order. Two outs, runner on second. Kenning stepping into the batting box. Wind up, the pitch comes in, and that one stays a little high for ball 1. Johnson with the next pitch. Swung on. That gets popped over, and running over to grab it from first base is Sophia Reamer for the 3rd out. But not without the Warriors doing a little bit of damage, as they were able to start off Well, Karin Eady was able to get on base, and then they had Briar Hancock popped out, Avery Hansen popped out, but then we had 2 walks in a row with Greg and Smart. Emma Meyer came in, was able to get on, walk with Michaela Kenning. Olivia Wesley was able to make sure all were cleared, but she ended up staying there on second base, and that puts us top of the second inning with the Warriors over the Badgers, 5-0. Again, we want to say thank you to the game sponsor as we continue on here. Hardy Acres is the game sponsor. All of the sponsors that are a part of the Wahoo Athletic Booster Club, again, thank you to them as we continue to roll through. JEO Consulting, Wahoo State Bank, First Bank in Nebraska, Saunders Medical Center, Wahoops, Union Bank and Trust, Woodsmith Builders, Simon's Home Store and Retire Path Advisors, Estudillo and Verbral Families, Titles and Scooters, Wahoo Dental Associates, Saunders County Chiropractic, Rivalry, Berkshire Hathaway Home Source, Ambassador Real Estate, Tammy Bennett, Sid Dillon Wahoo, Wahoo Concrete. First pitch comes in. That one is low for ball 1. Edward Jones, Josh Kruger, Shutt Electrical and Contracting, Tim and Seth Molly. So, Bella Worth at bat, the third baseman for Bennington. We have a 1-0 pitch coming in. Swung on. That gets loped out into shallow center field for a base hit. So, leadoff batter, the top of the second inning, Bella Worth was able to get on. Now we have Brooklyn Fitch, right fielder, stepping into the bat box for Bennington. First pitch swung on. That gets popped up and right at the fence. And we see Blake hits Emma Meyer and Addie Gregg all converge on it, but just too close to fence to really go after it. So that's a strike 1. Next pitch swung on, and that's popped out to right field, getting underneath it at the line and catching it. That is Addie Kenning for the out. So that is out number 1. Now we have Taylor Redmond stepping up, the shortstop for Bennington. That first pitch comes on the inside edge of the plate, just a little strike right there. 0-1 with 1 out, nope, and 1 on base. Next pitch swung, and that gets popped over to left center field, getting underneath it, through the glove to the fence. And base hit right there. Now, Bennington with 2 runners on, and first baseman Sophia Reimer stepping up to bat. First pitch on the way, and that is on the outside edge of the plate for a strike 1. Wind up, a pitch on the way. Swing and gets fouled straight back for strike number 2. 0-2, 1 out. Runners on first and second. Next pitch coming in. Popped up, and that is going to shallow right field, but getting underneath it is second baseman Michaela Kenning for the out. And with 2 runners still on, now we have Abby Richley, the second baseman. First pitch comes in. That one looks low to me, so that was ball one. Warriors having a commanding first inning, 5-0. Next pitch on the way, swing, and that gets popped straight up, and just not having to get even out of the circle. Emma Meyer was able to wait for it and reel it in for out number 3. So stranding runners on first and second. Warriors able to fend off the Badgers, and now we'll take a break, come back and wait for the Warrior Bats to see if they can stay warm. It is Warrior Softball right here on BSDNLive.com, Saunders County Online YouTube, Wahoo Public Schools YouTube, and WahooRadio.com. Welcome back to Hackberry Park, as it is time for the Warrior Bats to stay warm, and we're going to be back at the top of the batting order. Briar Hancock stepping back in. She popped out the first time. That swing popped it over the third base fence for strike number 1. Wind up next pitch, swing, and that is a grounder, diving catch for, but not able to do anything with it. So the shortstop Taylor Redmond able to grab it just to prevent Briar Hancock from going any further. So a base hit there for Briar Hancock. Karen Eady stepping in, the center fielder. She was actually one that started the scoring process for the Warriors at the bottom of the first inning. So here comes the first pitch to her, and that swing, and it gets tapped by third base. So what happened is Bella Worth over third, not able to handle it, kept it from Taylor Redmond being able to do anything. And so that is another base hit for the Warriors. Now we have runners on first and second. Nobody out. Avery Hansen coming up. She popped out in the first inning. Swing, and that just gets loped into shallow left field. And so Karen Eady able to bring it around for score. Now it's 6-0. Nobody out. And that brings up our catcher, Addie Gregg. Walked the first time she was here. Sorry, that was. And with that, looks like we have a pitching change coming for the Badgers, as we see Skylar Johnson just giving the ball back over to the coach. Well, maybe not. So, looks like we do have a new pitcher, Addie Capel. Addie Capel stepping into the circle. So, with nobody out, runners on first and second. One run has come in so far this inning. We have a pitching change from the Badgers. So, again, a good time to say thank you to the rest of our sponsors as we continue on here. So, Tim and Seth Molly Construction, Shutt Electrical and Contracting. Edward Jones, Josh Kruger, Wahoo Concrete, Hardy Acres, the game sponsor for tonight. Sid Dillon of Wahoo, Berkshire Hathaway Home Source, Ambassador Real Estate, Tammy Bennett, Rivalry, Saunders County Chiropractic, Wahoo Dental Associates, Titles and Scooters, Estudillo and Vibrell Families, Simon Home Store and Retire Path Advisors, Woodsmith Builders, Union Bank and Trust, Wahoops, Saunders Medical Center, First Bank of Nebraska, Wahoo State Bank, and JEO. I was able to get them all in. Look at that. All right, Greg waiting for the next pitch coming in, and that one stays high. So 1 ball, no strikes, nobody out. Runners on first and second. So right now, Karin Edie and Avery Hansen on base. Wind up next pitch, swing, and that one gets looped into all the way to the fence, bounces off the fence. 1 run comes in, and with that, we now have runners on the corners. Just probably about a foot short of having a home run, and I believe Greg had a home run yesterday. So 7-0, bottom of the second inning with no outs. And Addie Smart, the designated player, stepping into the batting box for the Warriors. Wind up the pitch coming in. That's on the inside for ball 1. So again, Addie Capel stepping in to replace Skylar Johnson for the Badgers as a pitcher. That pitch goes high, ball 2. 2-0 with no outs. Runners on the corners for the Warriors as they hold the lead 7-0. Wind up the next pitch, swung on, and that gets popped into the shallow right field. 1 run comes in. That sends Addie Gregg to second base. So now we're ahead 8-0, and the Warriors are ahead 8-0, bottom of the second inning. And Emma Meyer stepping into the batting box, and she was able to get on base last time. Comes in, and that one gets in there for a called strike. Wind up that pitch, a little bit outside, 1-1. Bennington's a tough team, just not bringing their game in today. That pitch is well inside. Now it's a 2-1. But there could be still quite a bit of ball to be played yet. Oh, that's a 2-1. That one's grounded over. The throw to third is in time for the forced out. So Greg is out. We have Courtesy running over for the Warriors. For Meyer is Addis. Who is that? That is Karin Edie. Karin Edie's Courtesy running? Oh, wait. Runners on first and second, going for it. The throw over to third is off. So now we have bases loaded. That was Michaela Kenning. And with bases loaded, one out, Olivia Wesley, shortstop, stepping into bat. Wind up that pitch on the outside, ball one. So the 1-0 count, one out, bases loaded, 3 runs so far coming in. Inside for, must have followed through too far on that swing for a strike. So count goes even 1-1 with 1 out. Olivia Wesley was stranded on second base last time. That one is low. 2-1. No place to walk anybody without a score right now. Three runs so far this inning, 5 in the first for the Warriors. That's high and inside. So now we have a 3-1 count. Wesley was able to RBI double last inning, and that's where she ended up for that third out. Swung, and that one gets sent out to shallow center field. 1 run comes in, 2 run comes in. And now we have a runoff as we have to figure out who's going to get, and the slide over is out. So Wesley got to first. Michaela Kenning was out in a runoff. But Emma Meyer and Addie Smart both made it home. 2 outs, and now we have the right fielder and 9th in the lineup for the Warriors. Addie Kenning stepping into the batting box. So Wesley's the only one on base currently. First pitch comes inside, ball 1. Wind up a pitch, swing, and that gets popped over, and the out is caught by the second baseman. Almost the same thing that happened last inning. So Abby Richley able to get that last out. Not without the Warriors being able to go all the way through the batting order and bringing 5 more runs in as well. So 10-0 as we come back to the top of the third inning. Warriors looking to be able to hold off the Bennington Badgers right here at Hackberry Park on BSDN Live, Saunders County Online YouTube, Wahoo Public Schools YouTube, and Wahoo Radio. We want to say thank you to the sponsors. Tonight's game sponsors are Hardy Acres, the Hardy family. Again, thank you for being partners of the Wahoo Athletic Booster Club. We also want to say thank you to JEO Consulting, Wahoo State Bank, First Bank of Nebraska, Saunders Medical Center, Wahoops, Union Bank and Trust, Woodsmith Builders, Simon's Home Store and Retire Path Advisors, Estudillo and Vibral Families, Titles and Scooters, Wahoo Dental Associates, Saunders County Chiropractic and Acupuncture, Rivalry, Berkshire Hathaway Home Stores, Ambassador Real Estate Tammy Bennett, Sid Dillon of Wahoo, Wahoo Concrete, Edward Jones, Josh Kruger, and Chutt Electrical and Contracting, Tim and Seth Molly Construction. Stepping into the batting box for the Badgers, we have Abby Richley, second baseman. First pitch comes in, that's called strike. So Badgers have not been able to get through the batting order yet. Next pitch, high for ball 1. 1-1, nobody out. Top of the third inning, the Warriors lead 10-0. Wind up the pitch Low and inside, 2-1 is the count now. Oh, I'm sorry. So this is actually Adrian Trebleu, left fielder's at bat. Swing, and that one gets sent out to left center field, and getting miscommunication, didn't call it. So we saw a near collision out there of Addy Kenning and Karin Eady, which let the ball drop and sent Adrian Trebleu to second base. Back to the top of the batting order. First pitch called ball to Hannah Wegman. Wind up pitch, and that's low and inside, ball number 2. Wind up that pitch, low. So 3-0 is the count. Nobody out, runner on second, top of the third inning. Badgers looking to do something with their bats right now. That pitch gets in there for a called strike. I was going to say, if he didn't call that one a strike, my batting box is out of whack. Next pitch gets in there, and that is a free base. So Hannah Wegman walked, bringing up. So that is bringing in Skylar. Oh, wait. Smedra. So changing players around a little bit. So, yeah, so Skylar Smedra stepping into the batting box for the Badgers. First pitch in there, and that is called strike. That next pitch called strike 2. Here comes the 0-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. I believe this should be Kaylin Mueller, catcher, stepping into bat. Swung, and that gets popped up into left center field. Calling it was Karin Eady. Throw coming over. Now there's 2 outs. Two outs with now runners on the corners. And I believe Bella Worth at bat. Wind up the pitch, swung on a miss, strike 1. And Bella Worth is able to get to second base her first time up. Wind up that pitch coming and goes send back for strike number 2. 0-2 with 2 outs, runners on the corners. Warriors looking to hold the Badgers at the 10-0 score. Top of the third inning. Pitch stays high. Ball 1. 1-2 with 2 outs. Emma Meyer doing a good job finding that strike zone. Wind up pitch, and that one stays well high. Free base over for Hannah Wegman. Or is that Bella Worth? Wind up pitch, and that stays high. No, Kaylin Mueller's on second base. Wind up pitch, swing, and that gets popped up, and that is going to go out of play. Count stays 3-2. So payoff pitch. Yeah. Wind up pitch, swing, and that one stopped by third base, but not able to do anything with it, just prevented to go any further. So now we continue. We have 1 run came in. And runners again on the corners. Brooklyn Fitch, right fielder, stepping into the batting box. Wind up that pitch, swung on, and that gets into shallow center field for another run coming in. And puts runners on first and second. So, the Badgers having a 2-out rally at this point. And next up to bat is Taylor Redmond, the shortstop. She was able to get on base, a base hit the last time she was up. Ten to 2, the Warriors lead, top of the third inning. Pitch comes in. That one gets in there for a strike 1. Wind up next pitch on the way. Swing, and that gets popped foul. Third base side. Oh, was it able to be caught? Was not caught, so that is strike number 2. 0-2. Went out of our field of vision, so just had to rely on the kindness of others for that one. Next pitch. High and outside. 1-2. Runners on first and second. 2 outs. Counts 1 and 2. Next pitch on the way. Swing, and that one is loped into left field. Rounding base, here comes 1 run. And sliding into third with a stand-up double. So Taylor Richmond with a RBI double brings the score 3-10. That brings a circle meet for the ladies, the infield, coming in to gather around Emma Meyer, giving her some encouragement. And so now we have Sophia Reimer stepping into bat. She popped out the last time she was up. First pitch swung on and missed, strike 1. Waiting for the next pitch. It's on its way. It stays high. 1-1 is the count. Swing and a miss, strike two. 1-2 with two outs. Runners on second and third. Badgers were able to bring in 3 runs so far. Warriors wanting to stop that right here, and that with right down the middle, strike 3. And a strikeout by Emma Meyer. Well, with 2.5 complete, Warriors continue to hold the lead 10-3, and they'll be back after we take a moment right here on bsdnlive.com, Saunders County Online YouTube, Wahoo Public Schools YouTube, and Wahoo Radio 99.3 FM. Want to say thank you to Hardy Acres as they are the game sponsor for tonight's game. I'll say thank you to all the sponsors, part of the Wahoo Warrior Athletic Booster Club, as we continue on. Well, we're at the bottom of the third inning. Warriors bats have been fairly warm, 5 runs each inning. First pitch coming in, and we're back to the top of the batting order. So we've started each inning for the Warriors at the top of the order. Briar Hancock leading off again. First pitch comes in. And so we have 1 ball. And how are we going to call that one? Because it actually hit the bat. Is he going to call that one a strike? 0-2. No, so he's actually calling it a strike. So the first one was a strike. Because it fouled off. And that one came in. She hit that one over to down past third base. But picking it up, left fielder Adrienne Treble was able to be there to catch it out. So, first inning, she popped out. And second inning, she made it all the way around and popped out again. Now we have Karen Edie. First pitch in there for strike 1. 0-1 with 1 out. Wind up next pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. So 0-2 with 1 out. Wind up pitch, and that one is hit foul on the first base side against the fence. Keeps the count 0-2. Next pitch. That gets into, rolls out to right field for a base hit. So 1 out base hit. Avery Hansen now stepping up to bat for the Warriors. Warriors have been doing a pretty good batting spree with, especially when they've had 2 outs, they were able to get a lot of scores. So 5 runs each inning thus far. That's why it's 10-1. Next pitch comes in. Swing, and that gets loped into left field for a base hit. Carnegie stops at second. Addie Grigg stepping up to bat now. She walked the first time. was out at third base last inning. And the first pitch comes in as a strike one. One out, runners on first and second for the Warriors, bottom of the third inning. Wind-up pitch, and that was low and inside for ball one. The throw goes over to third base. So Karin Edie takes advantage and moves forward, and then actually brings Avery Hansen forward to second. So 1-1. Checking out Karin Edie because I think she actually got hit by the throw. Everything looks okay. So 1-1 with one out, runners on second and third. First pitch comes in, and then that rolls out. Second base throws it over to first for the out. But the sacrifice does bring in Karin Edie and moves Avery Hansen over to third. So, Warriors now with 11-3 lead. 2 outs. First hit for Addie Smart lopes into center field, brings in a run, and puts her nice placement right there on first base. Emma Meyer, pitcher is stepping into the batting box, and she's been able to get on base every inning so far. 2 out rallies have been happening quite a bit. First pitch gets swung on down foul of the first base line for strike one. Wind up the next pitch on the way, and that one's low and inside. Ball one. Throw goes over to second as we see Addie Smart tried to do an acrobatic move to get to second base, but not able to do anything with it. So that was the third out. Emma Meyer not able to complete her bat. But we will then go ahead and say thank you to all of the sponsors as we're coming up to the top of the fourth inning as the Warriors lead 12-3 right here at Hackberry Park. Again, tonight's game sponsor is Hardy Acres. The Hardy family, thank you very much for being a part of the Wahoo Athletic Booster Club. We also want to say thank you to JEO Consulting, Wahoo State Bank, First Bank of Nebraska, Saunders Medical Center, Wahoops, Union Bank and Trust, Woodsmith Builders, Simon Home Store and Retire Path Advisors, Estudillo and Verbral Families, Titles and Scooters, Wahoo Dental Associates, Saunders County Chiropractic and Acupuncture, Rivalry, Berkshire Hathaway Home Source, Ambassador Real Estate, Tammy Bennett, Sid Dillon of Wahoo, Wahoo Concrete, Edward Jones, Josh Kruger, Shutt Electrical and Contracting, and Tim and Seth Molly Construction. Again, all a part of the Booster Club, enhancing and helping the athletes right here at Wahoo Public Schools. You can learn more by going to the Wahoo Public Schools website, Facebook page, and finding out more about the Booster Clubs. So now we're at the top of the fourth inning. First pitch comes in, and that is a ball to Abby Richley. One 0. Pitch on the way. Swing, and that gets fouled straight back for a strike. 1-1. Emma Meyer continuing to pitch for the Warriors. Windup comes in, and then that is a hit by pitch. So that is a free base. For Abby Richley. Up next, rounding out the batting order, is Adrian Trebell for the Badgers. Now, we have a courtesy runner out there for Abby Richley, and that is number 11, Allie Bohemkamp. Wind up the first pitch, swung on a miss, strike one. 0-1, nobody out, runner on first. We're at the top of the fourth inning. Warriors hold the lead 12-3. Next pitch on the way, and that one's on the outside edge of the plate, but called ball. 1-1. Wind up, pitch is swung on, and that gets loped into center field. It's actually a grounder out to center field for a base hit. So that brings up top of the order, Hannah Wegman, center fielder for the Badgers, stepping into the batting box. First pitch on the way. Swing, and that gets fouled to down the first base side. Out of play for strike one. Next pitch on the way. Swung and fouled back. Strike two. So the 0-2 with nobody out, runner on first. Bennington looking to warm up their bats. Warriors looking to stop that. Wind up and swing, and that gets fouled back over the top of the press box. So keeps the count 0-2. It's one way to keep alive, just foul away. Next pitch, swing and a miss, and that is strike three for out number one. Hannah Wegman struck out at the very first outing as well. Now we have stepping into the batting box should be Addie Koppel. Pitching, swing and fouled back. Is that right? Yep. Addie Koppel. So 0-1. One out, runner on first. Wind up the next pitch, swing and a miss, strike two. Meyer trying to do a repeat of the top of the first inning as she struck out Hannah Wegman and Skylar Johnson. And strike three. So two outs, runner on first. Kaylin Mueller, catcher, stepping up to bat for the Badgers. Top of the fourth inning. First pitch called ball. There's actually runners on first and second. Sorry about that. You knew that, though. You could see on the screen. Wind up next pitch. Swing, and that gets fouled back. 1-1. So two outs. Warriors with a 12-3 lead. And that one's inside. 2-1 is the count. Next pitch on the way. Swung, goes down to third base, steps on it for the forced out. And that is the third out. So with that, we have 3 outs, and we were going to the bottom of the 4th inning. Warrior bats coming back in and seeing what they can do, continue to hold on or extend that lead, 12-3. And we take a little break right here on bsdnlive.com, Saunders County Online YouTube, Wahoo Public Schools YouTube, and Wahoo Radio 99.3 FM. We're at Hackberry Park this evening, and it is Warrior Softball on bsdnlive.com, Saunders County Online YouTube, Wahoo Public Schools YouTube, and wahooradio.com, 99.3 FM. Well, we're at the bottom of the 4th inning. Warriors holding on to the lead, 12-3. Emma Meyer was not able to finish her at bat, as the out was a throw out to second to catch Addie Smart. So we see Emma Meyer back in the batting box. Well, there's a bit of conversation going on all about that, though. All right, it looks like everybody's on the same page finally, and the home plate umpire gets dug in. Gives the go-ahead signal. Here we come with the first pitch on the way, and that's inside for ball 1. So 1-0. Bottom of the 4th inning, 12-3. Warriors with a 9-point lead. Wind up, next pitch. Swing, and that gets grounded over to shortstop. Not able to pick it up. So Meyer was able to leg that one out and get on base. Michaela Kenning now at bat with nobody out, runner on first. And I believe that the Warriors have brought over Addison, somebody who's over there for courtesy running. It's hard to see the numbers from the distance here.
I think that's number 8. 15 maybe.
15. So that would be Karen Eady's courtesy running. Pitch goes high for ball 1. So Michaela Kenning with a 1-0, nobody out. Next pitch. That one is in there for a strike 1. 1-1. We're seeing a bit of a connection issue with the pitcher and the catcher. The catcher throws back, just not able, the pitcher not catching it or something happening, and the past couple times they've had to chase the ball down. Just not the right opportunity for anybody to advance. Next pitch, and gets inside for ball 1 or ball 2. So actually batting right now is number 9.
the Simon. Now the account goes even at 2. Swing on that one and lopes it out into left field. Is able to get a base hit. So Edie now moves over to second. Simon at first. And at bat is Olivia Wesley. Yep, we're back on track with a batting order here. First pitch comes in, swung, fouled back for strike 1. 0-1, nobody out. Runners on first and second. Next pitch on the way. That one's called a strike 2. 0-2. Wind up, swing, and that one gets sent out to right field. Able to reel that one in. Tagging up and moving ahead. So we see Edie and Simon move up a base, so the sacrifice by Wesley was able to put 2 more runners in scoring positions. And then that brings in Addie Kenning, who has popped out each time that she has been up. 1 out, runners on second and third. Kenning looking to step in and take care of business right here. Wind up, the pitch comes in. That's inside for ball 1. Wind up, next pitch on the way, and that one is called strike 2, or strike 1, I'm sorry. 1-1. Next pitch on the way, and that one's low. 2-1 with 1 out, runners on second and third. Bottom of the 4th inning, swing, and that gets popped straight up over and able to hold on to it. Second baseman for Abby Richley was able to grab that one for the pop out. So back to the top of the order should be Bree Hancock. Yep, stepping into bat. Pitch is outside for ball 1. 2 outs, runners on second and third. Wind up, pitch on the way, and that stays outside, ball 2. That one gets high, so 3-0 is the count. First base is open, and that one's inside, almost hits her, so a free base there. And now we have Karin Edie stepping in to bat for herself. Bases are loaded, 2 outs. First pitch swung on, and that gets loped into right field. 1 run in, 2 runs in, and runners on the corners, and that is the game. Mercy rule because it was more than 10 points at the bottom of the 4th inning. So the Warriors take it right there. That is our game. So, again, congratulations, the Warriors taking on a tough team with Bennington right there. We want to say thank you to Jess running the controls in the background. Also, Hardy Acres, our game sponsor, plus all the other sponsors for the Wahoo Warriors Booster Club, JEO Consulting, Wahoo State Bank, First Bank of Nebraska, Saunders Medical Center, Wahoops, Union Bank and Trust, Woodsmith Builders, Simon's Home Store and Retire Path Advisors, Estudillo and Vibral Families, Titles and Scooters, Wahoo Dental Associates, Saunders County Chiropractic, Rivalry, Berkshire Hathaway Home Source, Ambassador Real Estate, Tammy Bennett, Sid Dillon of Wahoo, Hardy Acres, Wahoo Concrete, Edward Jones, Josh Kruger, Shutt Electrical and Contracting, Tim and Seth Molly Construction. So the Warriors holding Bennington to 3 runs, and all 3 runs for Bennington actually occurred in the 3rd inning. So they were able to bring in, based off of some hits there, they were able to bring in Adrian Trebell, Kaylin Mueller, Bella Worth, but that is it. And then for the Warriors, 1st inning, 5 runs, 2nd inning, 5 runs, 3rd inning, 2 runs, and then 2 runs at the end. Complete the score. Well, that's going to wrap it up for us tonight. Again, this week it is homecoming, and so I believe our next Warrior broadcast will be football Friday night, as it is homecoming, and just to be able to find it right here on bsdnlive.com, Wahoo Public Schools YouTube, Saunders County Online YouTube, and 99.3 FM, wahooradio.com.